Okay guys, welcome to the next little helpful video I am making here regarding white stars and what they're about and what they consist of. Basically, once you want to move a ship over, I guess we'll start with this, it'll tell you the time passes by very slowly in white stars. You may not get ships back for days. That is a legitimate warning. It is true. It will take days to generally complete a white star. So once we go in there and we have a ship, okay, great, so I have a ship in here. Well, the first thing is, well, we have the entire map, right? And the other corp already has transports over. But anyway, this is the entire map. Obviously, there is Cerberus ships in here. And how it works is typically a gateway will generally, your gateway or the other corp's gateway will usually be opposite sides. So they spawn randomly, but typically they will be in opposite sides. So it may be up here, and then the other one might be down there, or you might be over here, and the other one might be over there. They're always in some way opposite to each other. Sometimes that can actually lead to an advantage, and I'll tell you why. So here are the two planets, or well, technically each side, each corp gets a close by level 5 planet. So we have two level 5s here, but there's only one level 10 planet. Generally, corps will compete for this. I don't have too crazy experience, I don't know really too many strategies, but I know for a fact that if you get this one, you'll get generally a lot more art because it moves quicker. You see 23 hours here, that's on level 10, and you go to the level 5, it's 3 days to produce one art. That's just a timer to see how long it will take to produce one art that you can then load to your transport and then send over to your gateway. Once you get a transport to your gateway with an artifact loaded, each artifact is 4 tons, by the way. Once you get them to your gateway, you actually, if you leave the white star, that's when you score a point for your corp. So generally, people will go over for the level 10. That's generally the strategy, unless you're in giant 10v10 or 20v20 matches where you're like, oh crap, you know, you can have like so many different miners, and you could like feed the crap out of level 5 planet here, and then you can produce a lot more arts than you could normally. But in this case, on level 5v5 is generally ideal to go for the level 10 because you'll just get more arts in the long run. Anyway, also with that noted, let's go into the time machine. Actually, let me just go slowly on that to show you. You press the white star symbol here, you press the time machine button, and you'll see you have a current time and you have a forward, and you can use this button to go back 12 hours. So right now I'm going to go forward. So the time has officially started in this point in the future, which is 13.3 hours in the future. Then if I use the backwards button, it'll reverse me 12 hours, and then this will actually put me in current time. So how this works is you actually give it a command, and based on a certain time, you know, you'll see this command says move to asteroid field executioner, that's the name of the ship. And then once that time actually occurs, beyond that point, it'll actually start doing the command. And then from there, I can say, oh, okay, great. And sometimes it'll do this stupid thing where it gets stuck and you can't do anything. So you just press the current time button so you can resolve that, and then try again. So, okay, great. So that's done. Now, okay, great. So I'm in my position. What do I want it to do next? Okay, I wanted to go to Blob Asteroid and destroy all these ships. Great, so that's done. Now what? It's like, oh, okay, I want to go into this ship. Not this ship, this sector rather. Then you do that, and then after it arrives, you know, you don't want to destroy that ship, so you want to EMP it for some reason. You can tell it to EMP, and then you have the EMP time, and then you can tell it what to do after the EMP, which is why this is very useful. Another thing to go over is you don't want to go and do long jumps between, or long movements rather. You don't want to do that. And actually, even before we go into that, so you see right now it's still scheduled to move over here, even if I did it in the time machine. In order to stop it, do any more moves, you actually have to stop it, and you can't do it from the time machine window, which is kind of stupid. So you actually have to go back to the white star regular window and then actually stop it from the white star if you change your mind. That's how you resolve that. But anyway, back to the other thing. If you're going to move around, move one sector at a time. Don't move multiple sectors at a time, because typically what will happen is, you can't really see enemy movements if they do it one sector at a time as well. So if you move over here, like let's say you decide to move across the map for some reason. Fine, you move across the map. Now, you're stuck in that position until you reach that location. You cannot move until you reach the location. So right now you see it's 48 hours later, or whatever the time was from when I first started moving. and I still haven't finished moving. So that means I will not be able to do anything aside that relates to movement until that is complete. And honestly, 2 days is a long time. So that's one thing. Move one block at a time. That's always the better way to do it. The other thing is, yeah, there's not really much else. I mean, there's just typical strategy, you know, maybe keeping a sector full of Cerberus ships so the enemy can't really get back at you. Like, you could use them as a shield. Like, let's say there's a planet over here and you have straight access to it. This would be amazing if it was this close, but I don't think it's ever that close. Anyway, you could use this as a shield so that the enemy would have to go through these guys. I'm assuming the enemies were like up here or something. They would have to go through these guys before they can reach the planet or something like that. So you can use them as a sort of shield. Also, you notice that, oh, this one doesn't have interceptors. Oh, this is interesting. Okay, well, normally a white star will usually have interceptors around the map. And typically how that would work is, I mean, the thing is, this is another strategy. These guys, like, let's say these all had interceptors. One of the enemy team members can actually go through every sector and just trigger them and cause them to go toward our ships, our civilian ships, which are typically unprotected. And they're perfect because, well, they don't have, the interceptors have mass batteries, so they can just damage 4 ships at a time. So they'll definitely get the civilian ships unless you got 4 battleships that intercepted first. But typically it'll be a very effective annoyance against either side, either the enemy team or your team, which sucks. Anyway, that's generally just a very brief overview of how white stars work. If you have any questions, just leave them in the comments. Obviously, if this video sucked, put a thumbs down. If it was okay or good, perfect, put a thumbs up. Anyway, have a good one, guys. Thanks for watching.